Okay, hello and welcome to lesson 3 on my series on building the bridge. My name is Josh Beck. I'm a technology teacher in San Antonio, Texas. This series of lessons was taken from the Essential Blender Chapter 4. I highly recommend looking into it through Barnes & Noble, Borders, Amazon.com. Take a look for a book called The Essential Blender. It's a really great reference manual. Okay, so in lessons 1 and 2, we created this figure using a variety of different tools. If you haven't worked through lessons 1 and 2, you probably should to get to this point. We're going to look at 2 separate tools this time. We're going to look at the this tool specifically is called the Loop Cut tool, and then we're going to take a look at the Array Modifier. Okay, so I'm going to rotate around this figure here, and basically right here on this edge, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to make it a little bit more detailed, and we're going to cut another face into it. So I'm going to go into Loop Cut by hitting Control R, and I need to be in edit mode to do that because we're working with our faces. I'm going to rotate around where I can see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control R, and just by hovering the mouse over different points in the model with Control R, I'll zoom in. You can see these purple lines pop up. What we're going to do is we're going to hover it right there, okay, right over that face, and it's going to create a line that's going to track all the way across the center of those 2 faces. We're going to basically cut an edge into that series of faces. So I'm going to hit the left mouse button, and it begins in slide mode. All right, edge slide, and I'm going to move it up to about there, and I'm going to drop it. And I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to hit Control R, and I'm going to go to this face, and once again I'm going to hit the left mouse button. The edges begin their life in edge slide mode, so by moving up you can see I can affect it. I'm going to take it to about there. Now I've cut a new face basically into the lowest cut here. Now I'm going to go into face select mode, and I'm going to select the 2 new faces I just created by using Control R. Okay, and I'm going to extrude that face back into the model by hitting E. Region, and you can see I can pretty much match it right there. Let's see how we did. All right, I can live with that. So let's go into let's take a look at let's put it into object mode, and we'll zoom around a little bit and you can see now, all right, that we have cut a new crease into the model and just made it a little more detailed using Control R. All right, so that is that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this one side of the pillar. We're going to use the Array Modifier to duplicate it 4 times and make an easy, quick cube. So I'm going to hit 7 right now, and my top-down view looks like this for me. I'm going to go to the Modifiers button after selecting my object by right-clicking on it. I'm going to choose Add Modifier, and I'm going to choose Array. Okay, this Array Modifier duplicates objects and positions them according to the variables that you specify. Okay, so by clicking on the Array Modifier, basically it duplicated the object to the right, you can see. I'm going to slide down here in my menu, and let's take a look at the array control set here. We've got the number of copies. You can have a constant offset, a relative offset. Or what we're going to use is the object offset. Okay, so by hitting Shift and then C, all right, I snap my cursor to the origin, all right, which is the bottom left of the model that I began in lesson 1. And at the cursor now, I'm going to add an empty object. So I'm going to choose Add Empty. And if you're unsure about empties, you might want to look at some of the other lessons I've done where I describe exactly what empties are, and we create some animations using them. Okay, so now if you look in wireframe mode, you can see that the empty is highlighted. Okay, and that empty has a name you can see down here in the bottom corner. It is called empty. Okay, so we're going to go back to the object. I'm going to take it out of wireframe mode by hitting Z. I'm going to select my faces here, And I'm going to come down to where it says Object Offset in the bottom. And I'm going to say, okay, I want the object offset of this array to be the empty that I just created. All right, except, well, nothing has happened now. So I need to turn it on by actually selecting Object Offset. Okay, so now I'm going to select my empty. All right, and you can see that it is indeed selected there. It is pink. And now by rotating the empty, I can affect the copies that have been made through the array. So let's do that. I'm going to hit R. All right, and that's not the way I want, so I'm going to try to constrain it to the x-axis. Nope. Let's constrain it to z. Nope. Let's constrain it to y. Better. All right, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to line it up so it's vertical. All right, and I'm going to rotate around. And I did that by rotating the empty. Now I'm going to hit G. And I'm going to do my best to take this and match up the corners. Okay? I can always hit 5 on the keyboard, and that will change between orthographic and perspective mode. That makes panning around easier. All right, it's real important for the rest of this lesson that we do our best to make these corners match up, because if they don't, as we're working through this and we're trying to close it up, it kind of does some funny things. So I'm going to do my best now to sort of match this corner up. Hopefully I'll be able to do it quickly. There's the empty. And YouTube also limits me to 10 minutes because I made a video that was 11 minutes the other day ago. YouTube rejected it, so I had to go through and cut it all up. Okay, so I'd say that's pretty good. All right, we've got our, let's zoom in a little bit. We've got our corners matched up fairly well. Not perfect, but for the purposes of this tutorial right now, it's going to do. So I've got two sides. Okay, now I'm going to select my object again, and I'm going to go into the array modifier down here. And you see where it says count? All right, well, now that I've set my first one, it's going to duplicate what I've done there, and let's go ahead so I can get the effect. We'll zoom in. If I go to count 3, you can see it makes the third side. I go to count 4, it makes the fourth side. So by following those moves, I have just created a cube in short order. Okay, and there it is, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So we'll continue this tutorial in the next lesson. We'll be closing up the top. We'll be making it so we can select everything. Right now, all we can really do in edit mode is select one quadrant, and then it has an effect on everything else. We'll open the whole model up for editing, and we'll make the top of the bridge. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and look for our next lesson.